foul on Vanderbilt, who then push, and then look out! All right, here we go.
That's the first foul. There's the foul.
Right now,
and then there's the push, and there's the throw, and then there's a two-hand shot.
Further review for a play.
I mean, without question, Vando pushed him. Without question, Sochan was throwing the ball at him.
After the personal foul on Vanderbilt, it's been determined that the actions of number 2 for LA and number 10 for San Antonio's during the dead ball, they'll be assessed fighting technicals and ejected from the game. We'll go point interruption. San Antonio will inbound at the free throw line extended.
Luka, JJ told us that I think 70% of the threes you guys created tonight were uncontested. For the shot quality to be that high on a night when you particularly didn't shoot it very well.
Not terrible.
What does that say about the potential for this offense? Also knowing that you've got 40 points a game or whatever it is between LeBron and Rui on the bench waiting to.
I mean, it just shows the team we have. I think we share the ball very good. When we play with pace, it's very hard to stop us. And you know, like you said, open threes are, when you have that many open threes, you should win the game and you should make threes. So we just got to keep playing like that and share the ball like we do.
Luka, you obviously had a lot of admiration for LeBron and had watched him play growing up and stuff like that, but had only seen Austin a couple times a year when the Lakers would come through Dallas. It seems like the two of you guys are finding chemistry in pretty good ways on the court. What do you like about the way he approaches the game?
I mean, this guy just scored 30 in his 4 games in 5 days. That explains everything. But he's an amazing player. For him to go undrafted is unbelievable. And, you know, it's not easy to go undrafted and then play at this level. It's amazing just to be by his side.
It was supposed to be a routine Western Conference clash at Crypto.com Arena featuring the Los Angeles Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs. Yet what was initially a standard game turned into a dramatic scene when Jared Vanderbilt and Jeremy Sochan locked horns. One fierce shove and a hurled basketball later, both players were ejected for fighting technicals, stealing the spotlight from the rest of the action. Let's take a closer look at how this sudden scuffle overshadowed an otherwise high-energy matchup. Early game momentum, pre-game setup, the Lakers, desperately clinging to postseason hopes, trotted out a lineup highlighted by Luka Dončić in this fun hypothetical scenario, LeBron James, and a surging Austin Reaves. Each has been instrumental in LA's recent push for consistency. The Spurs, though missing key veterans, continued to rely on youth and hustle. Jeremy Sochan in particular had been garnering praise for his defensive effort and willingness to mix it up inside. Balanced scoring, the first quarter set a blistering pace. Dončić ran the offense with remarkable ease, whipping pinpoint passes to find corner shooters for wide open threes. The Spurs countered with quick strike mid-range jumpers and fast break buckets. A couple of highlight dunks by Jackson Hayes brought the LA crowd to its feet early. The scoreboard remained tight as both sides traded small runs and momentum swings. Intensity builds physical defense. Things heated up in the second quarter as both teams got more physical. The Spurs looked to disrupt Dončić's flow by doubling him at midcourt, forcing a few uncharacteristic turnovers. Meanwhile, the Lakers ramped up interior defense, with LeBron directing traffic and closing off easy lanes. Despite a slightly better shooting percentage from LA, the Spurs stayed within striking distance. Signs of tension, a warning sign appeared when Sochan and Vanderbilt jostled under the rim for a rebound. Although just a brief entanglement, onlookers could sense a bit of trash talk. Officials quickly separated them, but the seeds of confrontation were clearly planted. The explosive shove, the foul by the third quarter, the Lakers held a modest lead. Then came the pivotal moment. Vanderbilt committed a hard foul on Sochan below the basket, stopping what would have been a sure layup. Sochan stood his ground, staring Vanderbilt down. The ref blew the whistle for the foul, but no one anticipated what was about to happen next. Push and throw. As Sochan attempted to step back, Vanderbilt shoved him forcefully in the chest. Almost reflexively, Sochan tossed the ball at Vanderbilt, igniting a flurry of motion. Teammates from both teams dashed over, and the referees hustled to separate the two before any real escalation. The arena erupted with gas, confusion, and even a few cheers from fans craving an edge-of-your-seat moment. But it was more a heated misunderstanding than a brewing fight. A line had been crossed nonetheless. Ejections and reactions. The verdict. The officiating crew convened for for a replay review. Determining that both players had engaged in fighting behavior, they handed out fighting technicals, which automatically meant double ejections. Boos and murmurs filled the stands as fans questioned the severity of the punishment. But according to the rulebook, once a shove and thrown ball were involved, the officials had little leeway. Commentators, weigh-in TV analysts debated whether it was more of a tussle than an actual fight. Even Floyd Mayweather, famously ringside, appeared unfazed by the skirmish, an indication that this wasn't a large-scale altercation. Nevertheless, the rule mandated swift ejections, leaving both players done for the night. The explosive shove, the foul, by the third quarter, the Lakers held a modest lead. Then came the pivotal moment. Vanderbilt committed a hard foul on Sochan below the basket, stopping what would have been a sure layup. Sochan stood his ground, staring Vanderbilt down. The ref blew the whistle for the foul, but no one anticipated what was about to happen next. Push and throw. As Sochan attempted to step back, Vanderbilt shoved him forcefully in the chest. Almost reflexively, Sochan tossed the ball at Vanderbilt, igniting a flurry of motion. Teammates from both teams dashed over, and the referees hustled to separate the two before any real escalation. The arena erupted with gasps, confusion, and even a few cheers from fans craving an edge-of-your-seat moment. But it was more a heated misunderstanding than a brewing fight. A line had been crossed nonetheless. Late game action Lakers. Pull away after the dust settled, the Lakers regrouped and capitalized on the Spurs' missing spark. Dončić took advantage of Sochan's absence, orchestrating the offense with backdoor passes and crisp step-back jumpers. Austin Reaves drained clutch threes that stretched the lead into double digits. LeBron, though not at his flashiest, made veteran plays and timely rebounds, stabilizing any moment where San Antonio tried to creep back. Spurs' response. Without Sochan's energy and defensive acumen, the Spurs struggled to maintain their earlier intensity. Goodwin and Coco provided a few highlights in transition, but they couldn't muster enough to erase the Lakers' advantage. The gap eventually grew too wide, and the Spurs resigned themselves to another loss in a rebuilding season that continues to reveal promising young pieces. Final score and post-game comments result. The Lakers' cohesive offense paved the way for a convincing win, yet the biggest takeaway from the night was the third quarter scuffle that momentarily overshadowed everything else. San Antonio showed grit, but lacked the firepower and focus to overcome the late burst by LA locker room takeaways post-game. LeBron brushed off the Vanderbilt-Sochan incident, attributing it to playoff-like intensity. Dončić labeled the moment a flare of emotion, applauding the team for not letting the altercation derail their focus. On the Spurs side, the coach bemoaned the loss of Sochan's defense, but didn't dispute the referee decision, saying, "There are rules, and once you cross that line, there's a price to pay." Conclusion. In a game the Lakers ultimately controlled, Jared Vanderbilt and Jeremy Sochan created the night's most buzzworthy moment with one shove and a thrown ball, leading to abrupt exits for both. While it wasn't a vicious altercation, it served as a cautionary tale. Intensity can quickly turn into confrontation in the heat of the NBA battle. If this recap piqued your interest, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more NBA highlights and storylines. Sound off in the comments. Did the refs make the correct call, or was this too harsh for what happened? We'll catch you in the next video.